On October 11, 2018, the Commission of Social Security announced a 2.5% cost of living adjustment, also called a COLA, in 2019 for more than 67 million Americans who receive monthly benefits. The Social Security Act ties the annual COLA to the increase in the Consumer Price Index as determined by the Department of Labor's Bureau of Statistics. The COLA will take effect with Supplemental Security Income SSI payments paid on December 31st and Social Security payments paid in January 2019. For more information, for details about the new COLA, visit us at www.socialsecurity.gov/COLA. Also remember to visit Social Security on all social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Social Security is there for you through life's journey. Good afternoon. My name is Dolly Robinson. I am a technical expert and I work out of one of the offices on the southeast side of Chicago. I will be your host for this edition of the Social Security Hotline. I want to remind our viewers that this is a live broadcast and we welcome your calls. The number is on your screen, 312-738-1060. I would like to welcome my guest for today's show, Nicole Joseph, and she is relatively a newcomer to our CAN TV team. So we would like for her to introduce herself to our audience and give us some information about her background. Take it away, Nicole.
Okay, hi, my name is Nicole Joseph. I am a public affairs specialist with Social Security for the Chicagoland area. And what I do, I work with the community, making sure they're well informed about Social Security programs. Okay.
Yeah, good. Okay, so you'll be seeing a lot more of her in the coming weeks and on future shows. In our public service announcement, we reminded Social Security and Supplemental Security Income recipients that they will be receiving a cost of living increase. I know that's good news for those who are receiving benefits. What this means is that beneficiaries who are receiving SSI, they will see this increase on their checks next week, December 31st. That will be your check for January 1st. And then for the Social Security beneficiaries, they will see the increase on January 3rd and successive Wednesdays, second Wednesday, third Wednesday, fourth Wednesdays. Nicole, we want to just start talking about this traffic that we have in our offices during the first 3 months of the year. The first 3 months, we're very busy in our local offices, all of the offices. So what's a good way our visitors can avoid those long lines and long wait times?
Oh, Dolly, our online services are the best way to avoid a lengthy or time-consuming visit to our local office.
Absolutely.
And one of our most recent online services is that individuals can now apply for Social Security cards online. This service is available to individuals who are U.S. citizen, age 18 or older, have a U.S. mailing address. They have to have a valid, unexpired state ID, driver's license, or passport, and you cannot have or want to make any changes on your Social Security card. So, in other words, if you need to change your name due to marriage, divorce, adoption, etc., or replace a child's card, you will not be able to use this service online to apply for a Social Security card.
No, that's very good. But so many people are not taking advantage of this service. So we want to just remind you that you can take advantage of these services. Now, if a person uses the online method, how long will it take them to actually get the card?
Okay, it normally takes about 4 weeks. And I just want to remind you that it should be rare that you ever need to produce your actual Social Security card, because most employers have access to our system to verify the validity of a prospective employee's Social Security number. Now, I would also like to caution individuals,
Yes,
please
please.
do not carry your Social Security cards in your wallet, your purse, your pocketbook, your pocket. Please don't. Your Social Security card should be stored in a safe place at home. Okay?
Very, very secure, because all day people have lost their cars, their purses gotten snatched.
Yes.
And it's and most of the time with that, the ID is gone as well.
Yes,
And
exactly.
they can't come in and get a card without the ID. So that's a catch-22 situation. So we want to remind people to please don't carry your Social Security cards in your purse, pocket, wallet, etc. Okay, so many times a person comes in the office and waits to apply for a Social Security replacement card. They wait a long time, and then they get to the window, and we have to tell them, you don't have the proper ID. So now we want to educate the public and let them know what they should be bringing in when they come in for a replacement card.
Okay. So, an adult must show proof of identity and to us to process a replacement Social Security card if you're going into the local office. So, acceptable identity documents would include a U.S. passport, a U.S. state ID or driver's license. And if a person does not have any of those documents, we may be able to accept an employer's ID card, a school ID card, health insurance card, or a U.S. military ID card. Okay? And if you are an adult and you're applying for a name change, in addition to what I just mentioned as far as the documents, we may also need to see the following: an amended or corrected birth certificate, a marriage document, divorce decree, or a court order for a name change.
Absolutely, and we want to remind people that when they come in and have to wait a long time and don't have these documents, it's painful for us
Yes.
to have to tell you
Yes.
that you don't have the documents, and you have to come back another day and wait again. So we do ask that if you're not changing your name, please set up your Social Security account so that you can go online and order your Social Security card. And so now, what about those people who bring in, they think they can use their birth certificate?
Oh, they think they can use their birth certificate? So let's see here. So if a person, well, are you talking about like children?
Yeah, well, a lot of people think birth certificates are ID. And so we need to let them know that your birth certificate only proves citizenship, or it just proves where you were born. Once you get a card, then we don't have to see that birth certificate anymore. We need your identity.
Yes.
We need to see that you're still alive, that you're still with us. We know you were born because you're still with us, and we see you. But we need to see your current ID. So that's why we want to just say no birth certificate. So we have it all the time. They come in and they say, "But I have my birth certificate." But we can't use that for a replacement card. Only for the original card. Okay, so to use our online service, we're just going to digress for just a moment.
Okay.
A person would need to go in and set up a My Social Security account. They can do that by going to www.socialsecurity.gov/My Social Security account. And they would see a screen something like this. This may not be the current one, but it's similar. And then they would provide the information, and then they would set up their account. And even here, they would have to provide the information about their ID. And so once they set up this account, it's not only useful for doing Social Security card, it's also useful for doing other things, and we'll talk about that we'll talk about that in just a moment.
Right, and I just want to make sure that they understand also that when using this website that they must have a valid email address.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, that's a very good point you make there. They have to have an email address, and most people do.
Yeah.
They may not use it, but they have one.
So make sure you have that written down so when you get to the website, it's easily accessible.
Yes. So that was good information. Many individuals come into the office to apply for replacement cards, and they bring in those birth certificates, which we just talked about. But the only time a birth certificate is really needed is when you are filing for an original number, or you're trying to change something on that birth certificate. Your name or your date of birth sometimes is incorrect. You want to change that. So now, Nicole, you want to tell us what documents are needed to replace a child's card?
Oh, sure, yes. So if a child already has a social security number, we must see identity documents, which includes a U.S. passport, adoption decree, doctor, clinic, or hospital record, and this also includes immunization records, religious record made before age 5, showing the date of birth, school or daycare center record, or school ID. Now, the birth certificate is only needed if the child has never been issued a social security number. So, in addition, the parent or applicant would need to have ID also, and must establish a relationship with the child.
Exactly, because we do have to enter all this information in our computer system. And so when they don't have the information, we can't even get past the screens. So they will need to have all the information that we request. Now, this birth certificate, most of the children are enumerated at birth.
Yes.
We understand that. But some slip through the cracks. Some also don't get enumerated because the parents don't sign up, and so they don't get enumerated at birth, which means that the hospital automatically does it, but the parents do have to give consent. And the other thing about that is the parents do not give us the right address, so they have no idea that the child has a card, and
Yes.
they'll come in and want a card, but they already have a number, but we'll be checking that out. I think we have a caller on the line. Caller, go ahead with your comment, please.
Yeah, hi, ladies. Good evening. How you doing?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good. My question is, I'm hoping to receive my pension in 2019. I'm already receiving my disability now. Would that affect my disability in getting my pension?
What kind of pension are you going to be receiving? Is it a federal pension?
Well, no, it's from the years I've worked on a particular job. I'm in a union.
Oh, okay. I don't think that's going to,
No.
no.
It shouldn't. So,
Because the only reason I ask, it's not as much as what I'm receiving from disability. So
How much are you receiving? You're receiving disability like on the third Wednesday, fourth Wednesday, or something like that?
right.
Okay, so yeah, that would not, your pension would not affect those payments. Only thing that's going to affect those payments if you go back to work.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably not going to happen no time.
But if you were receiving supplemental security income, SSI, then that pension would affect those payments. But if you're not getting a check on the first of the month, then that should not affect your payments that you're receiving from disability.
Oh, okay then. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for calling.
Welcome.
Okay.
Okay, take care.
Okay.
Okay, that was a very good question.
It was, because we're in the state of Illinois and we have a lot of people that We have non-covered pension, like if you work for the Chicago Board of Education.
Yes.
Or the police organization. Sometimes your Social Security will be adjusted because of that.
Oh, absolutely. Taken away almost.
Well, so
Take it away,
always
oh my
check
goodness.
to
Yeah.
make sure. And normally we do pretty good with providing seminars so that people are aware if their Social Security will be affected by their non-covered pension. Okay, but just be aware.
And then we want to remind people on that same note, we want to remind people if you are getting Social Security and you start getting that federal or state or
Yes.
local pension, you will need to report that as soon as it happens, because once we find out about it and you've gotten a whole bunch of checks, you're going to be overpaid. And we're going to start taking money from your Social Security check, in addition to reducing it. And so that's going to be a devastating situation. So you want to make sure that if you are going to get a government pension of any kind, from fire department, police department, teachers pension, federal pension,
Yeah.
all of that, you need to report that to Social Security if you're getting a Social Security check. And many people now are working and getting their benefits because they're over full retirement age.
Yeah.
And so they're working, and then once they stop working, then they start getting their pension. And so they'll continue to try to get that check. But
Yes.
that's not a good thing. We need you to report that.
Yes.
Report that pension to us as soon as you have paperwork in your hand, and that way you will not be overpaid, and we won't have to reduce your check even more by charging you an overpayment. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the Social Security cards and getting replacements, but we still want to urge the viewers to use our online services for replacing those cards. What is another reason why people visit our offices so much during this time of the year? They want benefit verifications.
Yes.
And so can they also get these online?
Yes, they can. We're trying to convince you, please don't come to the field office. Just sit at home and enjoy. You can work online. So it's very simple to get your benefit verification. So first of all, individuals on Social Security as well as SSI can view and print their benefit verification letters from the comfort of their home computer or wherever computer services are available to them. So an individual will need to establish a Social Security account by going to our secure website at www.socialsecurity.gov/myaccount. So once again, www.socialsecurity.gov. Okay? That's how you can establish an online account that's secure. Now, once you establish that account, you can go in and access and print your benefit verification letter. And by using our online services, the public avoids lengthy lines and long waits in our local offices. So this is a service to you. We want you to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we want to, the people who really need to be in the office.
Yes.
We need that. We can provide them faster and better services. If the people who can do work online are not there, because everyone wants to be serviced once they come into the office, and so we want to make sure that we can eliminate some of the traffic in the office. Now, it's not that we don't want to see you, because you help keep our doors open.
Yes.
But we need you to do as much online as possible, and so that you don't have to come and wait 2 or 3 hours and try to get things that you can do for yourself online. We want to remind our viewers that I think we have time for maybe another call or two to call in with your questions or comments at area code 312-738-1060. The phone lines are still open. And we want to talk just a little bit of just kind of briefly about this scam.
Oh, yes,
That
yes.
we want to, our callers, they have been getting calls. A lot of individuals have been getting calls that are actually fraudulent. And so we want to make them aware. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago on one of our broadcasts. And so we just want to remind you that it hasn't gone away. It is still going on. So the acting commissioner, the acting inspector general of Social Security, Gail Stallworth Stone, is warning citizens about an ongoing caller ID spoofing scheme misusing the Social Security Administration's National 800 number service, which is 1-800-772-1213, which comes up on your screen as a legitimate number that looks like Social Security. But this is a scam, and citizens should not engage with those calls or provide any personal information, especially your bank account information, your Social Security card, no identifying information. And if you do get some of these calls, you should report it. And our report number is 1-800-269-0271. And you should report any calls that seem to be fraudulent or that you're not sure about.
Yes.
I know sometimes people will call us and say,
Yes.
oh, I got a call from, but I wasn't sure. I even had an individual came into our office a couple of weeks ago, and he waited like really long, about 2 hours. And he just wanted to find out if we had really called him.
Okay.
And we told him, no, we didn't call and say that.
Well, here's the thing that you have to understand. You have a lot of these calls. They're saying that you're going to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come to your home. Do not engage with them.
Right, exactly.
Just hang up the phone.
Hang up.
Now, if you have filed an application or for any type of benefits, you may get a call from someone from Social Security.
Exactly.
But only if you have filed.
Yes, even if you think that you have some legitimate business with us, but we're not just going to single you out and tell you that we're going to take you to jail if you
No.
don't give us your information. We're never going to threaten you with anything. So that would be fraudulent if you get those type of calls. So we
Yes.
want to just let the public know.
Right. And then I have a personal story. While I was sitting at work at my desk, someone called my phone.
Wow.
Saying they were with Social Security.
Oh, my.
And I'm working.
Oh my!
Yes.
Yeah, they don't pick them or choose them.
No.
Anybody is accessible
Yes.
to this, and particularly, I think senior citizens should really be aware
Yes.
because they're the targets. Nicole, it looks like we're running out of time, which means that those who did not take advantage of calling in today, we won't be able to take any more calls on the air. But I have just really enjoyed working with you for my first and last time. First and last time.
I know, Dolly. What do you mean first and last time?
Last time. I will be retiring next week. January 3rd will be my last day. And this is actually my last broadcast. And I have worked with the CAN TV team since April of 1999.
What, Dolly?
Yes.
That's amazing.
And I have enjoyed every broadcast and working with all of the team members because I've worked with all of them. Mm-hmm. And some are gone now, some are in other places. So to our viewers, you out there in our viewing audience and all of those who have called in over the years and faithfully watched us, I would like to say goodbye to you. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to come into your homes or wherever you have been viewing this program to share vital information about the things that matter most to you. As I leave the agency and my CAN TV team, and the team here in the studio that have also worked with me down through the years, we know that we now have in place those people like Nicole that will carry on this work of public service and educating the public on the Social Security Administration things that need to be done. And they will continue to produce quality programs for the Social Security Hotline. So on behalf of myself, Dolly Robinson, Nicole Joseph, and the rest of the CAN TV team that's not here, we wish you a safe, healthy, and prosperous new year. And we thank you for watching. And remember to watch again next week. And no, our quarter is over.
Right.
So we'll be back
April.
in April. And so you'll have a new team. And I'm sorry to say that I won't be on the team, but I will be in the background rooting for everybody working on the team. And the team is in good hands with Nicole being our new past representative, and she'll be doing all the things that Andy used to do. And we thank her very, very much for taking the challenge. So on behalf of the CAN TV team, we are closing this edition of the Social Security Hotline. Have a safe evening.
Thanks.